Hello and welcome to A Bit of Everything Film Trivia, the ultimate quiz that transcends screens and reality. Whether you're commuting on the train, cruising in your car, or just chilling with friends, you can play along and test your cinematic knowledge. In each episode, we'll center our focus on a specific movie. Brace yourself for the challenge with 4 intriguing categories. General knowledge, packed with 20 questions. Behind the scenes, revealing 10 captivating insights. Real world, featuring 5 questions to test your worldly wisdom. And to keep you on your toes, the grand final will be a Who Am I category. Remember to be quick on your feet. I'll give you about 5 seconds to ponder before unveiling the answers. I'm Rebel Rune, and this is A Bit of Everything Film Trivia. Let the games begin. Welcome to the party, pal. This episode, we take a trip to Nakatomi Plaza as we look at the greatest Christmas movie, the 1988 action film, Die Hard.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Let's jump straight into general knowledge. Question 1. Who is the first police officer sent to the Nakatomi Plaza? Sergeant Powell. Question 2. Which thief is the first to notice Tony's corpse? Fritz. Question 3. What is John McClane's wife's first name? Holly. Question 4. Which company does Holly work for? The Nakatomi Corporation. Question 5. What is the name of John and Holly's daughter? Lucy. Question 6. What is Chief Robinson's full name? Dwayne T. Robinson. Question 7. Who is the main henchman? Carl. Question 8. Which of the henchmen is Carl's brother? Tony. Question 9. One of the henchmen seems to enjoy candy bars. Which one? Uli. Question 10. What tunes does Argyle play in the limousine tape deck on the way to the Nakatomi Plaza with McClane? Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. Question 11. What is the logo on the truck used by the terrorists to enter the parking level of the plaza? Pacific Courier. Question 12. What type of sport is Theo talking about when he and Carl enter the Nakatomi Plaza on foot? Basketball. Question 13. Name the artist of the painting that is seen briefly in the Nakatomi Vault. Edgar Degas. Question 14. What is Sergeant Powell's police car call sign? 8 Lincoln 30. Question 15. What floor was the party held on? The 30th floor. Question 16. How many locks did the vault have? 7. Question 17. What last name did the 2 FBI agents share? Johnson. Question 18. Which part of the building was Ellis killed in? Holly's office. Question 19. At the start, how many terrorists took over Nakatomi? 12. Question 20. What floor does McClane supposedly drop Hans from? The 32nd floor. Well, that's it. 20 questions. How did you guys do on that round? Time now for behind the scenes. Question 1. True or false? McClane's fall down the ventilation shaft was an accident. True. The stuntman was supposed to grab the first vent, but missed and continued to fall. The shot was used anyway and edited with the footage where McClane grabs the second vent. Question 2. What made Alan Rickman flinch during the entire filming of the movie? Gunfire. Despite playing one of the greatest movie villains of all time, Rickman himself wasn't as keen on gunfire. McTiernan had to cut away from his face every time his character fires a gun. You can see him wincing if you look really closely at Hans before he shoots Mr. Takagi. Question 3. Who played Holly McClane? Bonnie Bedelia. Bruce Willis actually personally picked Bonnie to star alongside him. She was a rising star, nominated for a Golden Globe for her performance in the 1983 film Heart Like a Wheel. Willis had caught the movie about the first female drag racer, and he was floored by her performance. So he recommended her for the part of Holly Gennaro, and the studio agreed. Question 4. True or false? The glass that Willis crawls and walks through is fake. False. The glass on the floor during these scenes where John McClane navigates through the broken glass was indeed real. The decision to use the real broken glass added to the intensity and realism of the scenes, but it also meant that Willis had to be really careful to avoid injuring himself during the filming. This movie has Quentin Tarantino levels of feet shots, but for the scenes where McClane runs barefoot on glass in the computer room, Willis was given feet like rubber shoes to wear. You can see the unnaturally large appendages if you look closely during the barefoot scenes. Question 5. Who came up with McClane's catchphrase? Bruce Willis. Willis changed the original line to make the crew laugh while messing about on set, never thinking it would be kept in the film. It became so iconic that it appeared in every sequel since, but we'll get to them in due course. Question 6. True or false? This was Alan Rickman's first film. True. It's hard to imagine now, but prior to Die Hard, Alan Rickman had never appeared in a feature film and was mostly known for his stage and TV work in the UK. In his debut, the then 41-year-old played one of the greatest screen villains of all time, a skill he would grow especially famous for. Question 7. What significant physical injury did Bruce Willis experience during the filming of the movie? Hearing loss. Despite enduring some painful cuts on his feet from broken glass, Willis's ears bore the brunt of real-life damage. The use of extra loud blanks for authenticity in the filming led to a significant consequence. During the scene where he shoots a henchman through the table, Willis lost 2/3 of his hearing in his left ear. Question 8. Was Alan Rickman's surprise during the death scene real? Yes. While it wasn't 32 floors he was dropping from, Rickman did have to fall about 25 feet into an airbag, but the stuntman dropped him at the count of 2, not 3, leading to his genuine terrified reaction. Question 9. How much money was spent on glass? A casual $130,000. During the film, a lot of glass gets destroyed by shooting it, jumping through it, or pulling it out of feet. So it only makes sense that they spent a lot of money on the material during filming. Question 10. Which real-life building is used for the Nakatomi Plaza? Fox Plaza. This is the corporate headquarters of 20th Century Fox in Century City, Los Angeles. The building was under construction during filming, so the unoccupied 33rd and 34th floor served as the set. But while Die Hard was a Fox project, the company still charged them a location rental fee for using the space. Alright, so that concludes behind the scenes. How did you do? It's a jam-packed real-world section today. Let's jump straight into it. Question 1. Which book was Die Hard based on? Nothing Lasts Forever. Along with Apocalypse Now and Rambo, Die Hard is one of those legendary films few realise was based on a book. The Bond-sounding Nothing Lasts Forever, written by Roderick Thorpe in 1979, was a sequel to his 1966 book, The Detective, which was also turned into a movie starring Frank Sinatra. Thorpe first came up with the idea for Nothing Lasts Forever by falling asleep watching the 1974 Steve McQueen disaster film The Towering Inferno, and dreaming of a man being chased through a skyscraper by men with guns. That dream would then become the plot of his next book, and of course, Die Hard. Question 2. Which unlikely actor was nearly John McClane? Frank Sinatra. Having played the lead character in the detective's film adaptation of Thorpe's 1966 book of the same name, producers were contractually obligated to first offer Sinatra the role despite him being aged 73 at the time. Sinatra turned it down, which is probably for the best. I can't imagine him running around in a vest shouting "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker." Question 3. True or false? Bruce Willis was second choice for the role. False. After Sinatra and Eastwood, who owned the rights to Nothing Lasts Forever, turned the part down, Willis was still far from a shoo-in for the role. Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, Robert De Niro, Mel Gibson, Richard Gere, and Burt Reynolds were all apparently considered or turned down the role before Willis was actually even reluctantly cast. Question 4. How much was Bruce Willis paid to star in the film? $5 million. Now, this amount is still plenty of dollar today, but was an unheard of fee for a film role at the time and had to be personally approved by Fox president Rupert Murdoch. Not bad for someone who wasn't even the third choice. Question 5. Which Jurassic Park actor was offered the role of Hans Gruber? Sam Neill. It's true, Jurassic Park's gentle Alan Grant nearly robbed Alan Rickman of his career-making role. Neill turned down the part, however, and Rickman was spotted by a casting director while playing the villain in the stage play Dangerous Liaisons. I'm really glad that Alan Rickman was cast as Hans. Could you imagine who might have ended up playing his other iconic roles throughout the years if he hadn't? Rest in peace. Fun fact. The iconic tank top can now be found in the Smithsonian Museum. It now resides nearby Dorothy's red slippers and President Lincoln's epic top hat. Well, here we are at the final category. Who am I? Born July 30, 1974, in Orange, Connecticut, to Robert and Roby. I studied acting at the drama school at Carnegie Tech and graduated from the Carnegie Mellon University in 1969. I was successful on the New York stage and worked with many of the country's leading playwrights, winning numerous awards for my work on and off Broadway. I got my big break playing hapless fugitive, Culvis Poplin, in the 1974 film The Sugarland Express, which was the feature film debut of Steven Spielberg. I gained major roles in dark dramas such as The Day of the Locusts, 1975, and Looking for Mr. Goodbar, 1977. As well as the big-budget disaster film The Hindenburg, 1975. I appeared in the comedy film Ghostbusters in 1984 as the officious and condescending EPA agent Walter Peck. The character I played in Die Hard also returned in its sequel Die Hard 2 in 1990. I am William Atherton, who played Richard Dick Thornburg, the morally bankrupt, scummy and self-centered reporter that Holly punches. Great scene. Well, did you know who it was? Well, that's it for this episode. Thanks for joining in and kicking Gruber's ass while we test your knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe to catch every episode and follow on the socials at Rebel Room Co. If you want to request a movie for me to focus on, or let me know some additional facts or trivia that I might have missed, send me an email at rebelroomco@gmail.com. May your popcorn be perfectly buttered and your remote always be within reach. Stay real, stay trivia savvy, and keep the credits rolling. Until next time, create mayhem.